They're coming to the green this time. So Mike Wallace goes to the end of the field. Last year, here at Daytona, driving for a different team, he started last in one of these races and came up with a top 10 finish.
On the steering wheel, we see Michael Waltrip weaving the steering wheel back and forth. Somewhere on that steering wheel is a switch these drivers can hit that will kill the ignition. Somehow, Mike Wallace, according to Andy Petrie, we see there's a radio. I think on the left side is a kill switch, and all they got to do is touch that, and it kills the engine. And somehow, Andy Petrie thinks that Mike Wallace touched that while trying to start the car.
It'll take 200 laps around the 2.5-mile Daytona Speedway to make up the 500-mile distance this afternoon. The winner gets $1.3 million at least from that $12 million pot. Jay Leno takes the pace car to pit road. 170,000 are on their feet. We are ready for the start of the 44th Daytona 500.
Looks like that outside line is the line right now that's going the best. Harvick, the pole sitter Jimmy Johnson, back to 5th spot, going in turn 3.
Second car in line, the defending Daytona 500 winner, Michael Waltrip. Looking for a way to the lead, pushed by his teammate, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And that's bad news for the rest of the competition if those guys can stay there all day, because that combination right there has won a lot of races on the restrictor plate racetrack the last year.
Pole sitter Jimmy Johnson getting pushed by his teammate Jeff Gordon on the inside lane. Michael Waltrip not able to make a move. Tony Stewart going to try and get a push from those Hendrick Chevys, see if he can make a run on those front four. Last season, we honored the memory of Dale Earnhardt and all of America's other lost heroes with a silent lap 3. We do that once again here today at the Daytona 500.
Stewart is off the pace, the winner of the Bud Shootout. Finished second in the qualifying race, off the pace in turn 3.
And a lot of people's pick to win this Daytona 500. It's only lasted 2 laps for him.
And you can hear the motors off right there. There's no running of that engine. How about it, Matt?
Benny, Greg Zipadelli asked Tony on the radio, is it the motor? Is it the motor? He says, yep, it broke.
Wow. Tony Stewart, one of the dominant cars all week, is out. Here comes Michael Waltrip for the lead.
He gets an outside position on the 29 car of Harvick. Coming off turn 2. Who's Junior going with? My money's on Michael.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bet. Teammates at Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. They finished first and second in the last 2 straight Daytona Winston Cup races, each winning one and finishing second in the other.
Oh, Junior, when the 25 car pulled up behind Dale Earnhardt Jr., he got that Bud car very, very loose going in turn 3.
Yeah, that was awfully close. It could have been even a little bit of contact there.
That's Jerry Nadeau right behind him in the black car, the 25. Bobby Gordon behind Nadeau. Inside lane, Ken Schrader in the yellow car moves up behind Kevin Harvick. Michael Waltrip so confident all week long. You heard him in our pre-race show. Felt like this might be his day for back-to-back 500 wins. Let's get more on Tony Stewart's situation, Matt.
Alan, I've caught up with Greg Zipadelli. Tony give you any idea what might have happened inside the motor?
No, we probably broke a piston or something. He says it blew apart pretty good, and 18 car had one go the other day. Truck team had one go the other day. It doesn't seem like we're up on our game here with our motor program, but they've been working awful hard this winter, and we'll bounce back. It just, you know, we had a great race car. Home Depot Pontiac's been awesome all weekend. Tony's spirits have been up. This whole team has been excited about coming here and trying to win our first Daytona 500, but I guess we'll be back next year.
Rain washed out the final practice. Do you feel like this is something that probably would have cropped up in the final practice session?
Yeah, but I mean, everybody was in the same boat. 90%, 95% of us put our race motors in. It's something that we do week in, week out, and you know, it's a chance you take, but it just come off the dyno. I think ran good. They run a bunch of pulls on it, and just wasn't our day. I mean, somebody, I don't know, just one of those deals, man. I don't know.
The 20 team, looking at the championship this year, uses a mulligan early in that title chase, Alan.
That will hurt. He will finish last in the first race of the year. Michael Waltrip leads. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is second. Jerry Naden third. Robbie Gordon fourth. And Kevin Harvick is fifth. Matt Kenseth, black and yellow, number 17 there. Really on the move in the opening laps. He started 40th. That time across the stripe, he's moved halfway through the field to 19th.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Fords react, especially after they get some wear on their tires and things with the spoiler change. See Ricky Craven there in the 32 sneaking up the center, trying to get in the outside lane there. With the heat the way it is now, we could see those Fords getting a little bit loose towards the end of the run. We'll have to wait and see.
Craven started last in this race, and he's ahead of Kenseth. So he's having a great run in the early laps, too.
And this is the third year in a row that Tony Stewart gets his season off to a terrible, terrible start. Mark Martin watching Matt Kenseth in the 17 car drive by.
Mark started 39th. That time across the start-finish line, he's up to 20th. Dale Jarrett in the middle of that picture. Jeff Gordon fading back. Remember that Gordon started third on the inside of row 2.
He's back to 15th the last time by. On board with Jeff Gordon as he follows Kurt Busch, the 97 car, coming off turn 4. Kenny Wallace is in the 1 on the outside.
Jeff Burton in the 99 car, highlighted there with the bubble, started this race in 33rd spot. That time across the start-finish line, he was 15th. Another one of the early movers from the back of the field. And notice all of those drivers we've spotlighted as moving up quickly. They're driving Fords. Qualified poorly, started in the back, seem to be working their way toward the front.
Another guy that's moving up pretty good there is Mike Skinner, that Ford car.
Started 20th. He's up to 8th. Dave Blaney off the pace. Hartford, Ohio driver. First ride with this 77 team, changing rides over the offseason. And he's got problems at lap 9.
Last time by, he was in 28th position, but the way he's coasting off turn 4, it looks almost like an engine problem.